Peace and blessings minus the stress, and I pray you walk in the divine path for which you were destined. Welcome back to Mac Global Music, Arts, Culture, and Commerce, where we discuss things that move the needle in society. If you've been following Starbucks, then you know the coffee giant has been through some serious ups and downs in recent years. From its infamous PR disaster in 2018 to the company's attempts at damage control with the controversial open door policy, there's just been a lot of drama surrounding the brand. But now in 2025, Starbucks has just made a bold move. They've officially ended the policy that allowed anyone, even non paying customers, to use their restrooms and sit in their stores. Let's dive into what this change means and why it could actually be a savvy move by Starbucks, or maybe perhaps part of a larger strategy to recover their image. Maybe even drive some of the unwanted customers towards their competitors. First, a quick recap. In 2018, after the viral incident where two black men were arrested at a Starbucks in Philadelphia for sitting in a store without making a purchase, the company faced a massive public outcry. In an attempt to rebuild trust and show goodwill, Starbucks introduced the open door policy. This policy essentially allowed anyone to use their restrooms or sit in their cafes, regardless of whether they were making a purchase or not. The move was meant to show inclusivity, but it came with its own set of challenges at the same time. The intention behind the policy was clear: to make Starbucks feel like a third place for everyone, a space to relax, work, or just hang out. But it wasn't without consequences. Many locations experienced issues with people using the store as a free public restroom or even just hanging around for hours at a time without purchasing anything. Which, I mean, you kind of put yourself in that way when doing this. For employees, it meant dealing with uncomfortable situations. And for paying customers, it created tension around the idea of whether they were getting their money's worth. As you could imagine, you sitting there trying to do some work, trying to have a meeting, and you got people who don't have the same intentions as you hanging around, creating an unprofessional environment. And on top of that, being a business owner or contractor, or when you're trying to present professional atmosphere and other forces outside of your control interrupt that, it's frustrating. On the so Fast forward to today, and Starbucks has reversed course. They're ending the open door policy. Surprise, surprise. The company claims it's due to operational needs, but there's more to the story. Let's look into it. On one hand, ending the policy could be seen as a way for Starbucks to reclaim control over its space. After all, they're a business and not just a public utility. On the other hand, we can't ignore the fact that this move may have been orchestrated to help Starbucks repair its image. Might seem weird, but let me explain. And even what might even seem weirder, they might be trying to drive certain customers away from the brand. Now, why would they want that? Well, let's talk about Starbucks competitors. Since the 2018 incident, brands like Dunkin' and local coffee shops have seen positive attention, obviously. If something happens to the person standing in the way, something substantial enough that can get them out of the way, just enough for you to shine through. So makes perfect sense. Even if you want a conspiracy theory this thing out, might have been a staged incident. I wouldn't put anything past corporations with think tanks and a bunch of money to spend. If they spending it on marketing, they're also spending it on maybe some type of, for lack of a better term, black ops, situations. So not too much on the conspiracy tip. Um, Duncan at that time had been pushing its own rebranding efforts. And it's possible that some customers were looking for a new, safer place to grab their coffee. By ending the open door policy, Starbucks might be sending a message that it's returning to more traditional business model where paying customers come first. So, they've been in their little purgatory of having to PR their way out of that incident. And now they're like, let's get back to business. Not mad at that. Could this be a subtle move to steer customers away from the everyone is welcome atmosphere and maybe back to a more exclusive paying customer first environment? If that's the case, it could force more casual visitors to reconsider where they spend their time and money. And guess what? You've always got Dunkin' and McDonald's ready to pounce on those customers. Um, while Dunkin' and McDonald's might not be explicitly capitalizing on Starbucks policy change, it's no secret that they've been making moves to attract former Starbucks customers. McDonald's, for instance, has continued to improve its coffee offerings and pricing strategy. Dunkin', too, has been expanding its menu and rolling out new products aimed at a younger, more diverse crowd. All of this raises a key question. Was Starbucks' open door policy ever meant to be permanent? Or was it a tactical move to put out the PR fire caused by that 2018 incident? I think that answer is more than obvious. Now that the policy is ending, Starbucks may be calculating that its brand can benefit from returning to a more traditional model, one that emphasizes paying customers first, especially if it can recapture the trust of loyal patrons. So to wrap up, Starbucks ending its open door policy might be a strategic decision designed to clean up the brand's image while simultaneously nudging customers back toward a more exclusive paying customer environment. Whether this move will backfire or help Starbucks reclaim its footing in the coffee wars remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, the battle for your coffee dollars is far from over. It just lends to the creativity that big business can employ when you're looking to play the chess game and, position your competition in a certain way where you can take advantage. And social issues and news in these days and times are a great tool to use when you're waging quiet wars against your competitors. So, get in the comments. Tell me what you think. Is Starbucks making the right call? Or is this another misstep that can really drive customers, even their paying customers, over to the competitor side? And what can the competitors do to rebound from this? Can they make a um, social standing that, hey, Starbucks has reneged on its stance and you should come over here where, we consider everybody equal. And you know how people do and how corporations do. So let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. You do know that I'm available to do any type of market research for you as far as housing is concerned in the Houston area. So if you need any information on Houston housing market, definitely get in the DMs, comments, etc., etc. Until next time, peace and blessings. Y'all be good. I'm out.